And good evening, everybody. Hope you are all doing well. Got a number of things to talk with you about tonight. Some real life, some fun stuff, theme parks, Disney, real life, a little bit of the future of the channel because there are some things I definitely need to update you on, and a whole lot more. We're going to roll, and who knows where we end up tonight. Well, good evening, everybody. Like I said, there's all sorts of stuff to talk about tonight. A little bit lighter on the mail. I just have one package from Canada, of all places. So excited to see what's in there. We've got a little bit of news out of Disney, some news out of Silver Dollar City, news out of Cedar Point, and a few other things going on. And then I've got some personal news. I've actually got a few different things to talk about personally. Hopefully, a little look at what might be coming up on the channel, some of our future stuff, and then also I'm going to drag you down a little bit. I hope not too much, but talk about some of the things that we have been going through in real life, just some crazy stuff. So it should be a lot of fun. Parker's asking, were you able to go to the Ace thing at Silver Dollar City? I was not. I had actually been in meetings and stuff from Friday, Saturday of last week, all the way up through Wednesday. And so I kind of had to work at some point. So Saturday ended up being a work day. So I did not make it out to Silver Dollar City. My plan, my hope is to get out there finally Thursday. But I will talk about a couple things going on and why it's a hope. It's a plan, but yeah, just stuff. So a couple little news bits. One, Cedar Point opened up their Top Thrill Dragster 2, built by Zamperla. Actually, one of the guys who works for Zamperla is an old friend of mine, Adam Sandy, and it looks amazing. Just the changes that they've made. Hopefully, it's safer. I actually think it is probably going to be a lot safer, knowing the company. And now you automatically get a rollback, plus you get the back spike. It looks really cool. So very pleased. I thought they were just going to scrap the whole thing, that it would be done, finished. I was wrong. So that was it's really neat to see what they've done with it. So excited about that. Let's see here. Brandon, catch the right comment. Hope we'll be able to make her video together this year. I do too. I'm actually so Silver Dollar City's PR department has changed. So I'm going to get a couple things here. One of the neat things about the PR department at Silver Dollar City currently, they now have a new guy. He's been there for a year now, I guess, who actually works with influencers. They've specifically decided to reach out to YouTubers and stuff, which is how I got the Saloon interview and the media days for Fire in the Hole and stuff like that. So they're putting a new emphasis on. I'm actually talking with them about a couple possibilities. I don't want to say anything here because I don't want to get expectations up, but I have a couple possibilities now that I'm looking at. One, I will say, Brandon, I need to send him a note about a proposal, because one of the cool things that I can do is when they give me permission, I can actually go to you and film instead of you having to come to me. And then we can also do it while they watch. So that way we know everything's cool. You don't have to worry about your job or getting in trouble. So I am kind of working on that. So that is, I've got like 3 different things I'm working on that way. So excited about that. Plus, there's also 2 other guys in the PR department. One, Coulter is now in charge of social media. So if you see a Facebook post from Silver Dollar City, it's probably Coulter. Coulter Rob trains with me. If you remember my snake story, that was Coulter that went flying off the back of the train. And then also the other guy who's the number 2 in it, Dalton Fisher. You'll see him out and about a lot. Dalton's actually an old friend of my son's. They were at a summer camp together, met there, and they've been friends ever since. So that's really, really cool. Let's see, Disfan, did you see that Disney's filed a permit for Journey? I have not, but there has been talk for a while about them updating it. I don't know if they're actually going to update the ride, if they're doing some work in the building or what. But it will definitely, they definitely have some things that they want to do and have talked about doing, so it will be neat. Parker, hope the Coulter does not have ill will against. Oh no, he doesn't. Coulter is a good buddy. We laugh about it. He definitely pranked me back at some point, but no, we get a good laugh. Coulter, I love him to death. Great guy. I was super excited when I saw that he stepped into that role. So nope, Coulter and I are all good. But since we're talking about different people at Silver Dollar City, there is actually a change that's happened on the train. The lead that has been there for several years, Kathy, has just retired. Either yesterday or today was her last day, and they have a new lead. I did get entertained a little bit because I did have a couple of people reach out to me and say, "Hey, Kathy's retiring. Don't you want to come back?" I absolutely loved my time out there. Don't get me wrong. I had a blast. And I wouldn't mind doing a guest spot if it could ever work. I don't know that it can now, but no plans to ever work on the train again. My current job is much too flexible, pays me the same price as the lead on the train would, and it's easier work. So, and if I need a day off all of a sudden to go travel and speak somewhere or something, I can get that where I'm currently working. Yeah, couldn't happen at the train. So no, when people called, I said, "Thank you for thinking of me." Nope. So, let's see here. Anyone here can confirm whether or not Marineland has been sold. So Marineland, if you don't know, is a park that is running into all sorts of trouble. And I saw just a quick little snippet in your life, or snippet, reading another comment here. I did see a snippet in the news that did say that Marineland had been sold, which is good because they've been running into all sorts of issues. So, do I think Tina's will be open? Okay, remind me, Mike. My brain is going blank. I'm not sure. Do you mean Tiana's, the river adventure that's replacing Splash Mountain? If you're talking about Walt Disney World, yes. If you're talking about Disneyland, no. So coming up. But yeah, Tiana's, not Tina's. I'm just talking to a Tina. That's why I'm going, what? Okay, let me see here. So I got my collabs. I talked about the changes on the train. Oh, so here's one of the big news things about the future of the channel. Because I've had people ask about this. I have talked about our plan to hopefully go live and work in Israel for a couple years, to learn the language, officially be going as language students, but also to produce videos. And I've had a couple people express concern that, SirWillow, we love your stuff, but if your channel switches to Israel, then it's time for us to be out. And I'm like, okay, so first, let me reassure you, this channel is not changing. Okay. Confessions of a Theme Park Worker will always be about theme parks. No politics. It is a safe zone for anybody from all beliefs. Yes, I am a minister, but I don't preach on this channel, and I won't do it. I want anybody, whether they agree with me or disagree with me on various things, I want you to be able to come in here and forget all the stuff that so often divides us. So this is always theme park, always Disney, always Silver Dollar City, always whatever other theme parks. Won't change. When we do go, there are a couple small amusement parks in Israel, but most of what I'll be doing will likely be trying to do interviews and some of the similar stuff that I do now. It is an 8-hour difference, so it'll make things a little interesting sometimes. It means that if, for example, if I try to do, say, a live stream here at this time, it's going to be real early in the morning there, or really late at night. So, but we'll make it work. But yeah, this is going to continue. I do plan on starting another channel that will actually be about living in Israel as a American non-Jew, and what it's like and the cultural differences, and fascinating things and stuff like that. But it will be a separate channel, and I will actually get it started probably about 2 months before we go. Right now, our plan is to hopefully finish raising all the financial stuff and get it squared away by the end of October, and then leave probably end of December. That is right now the plan. So we shall see how that works out. But that way you can definitely make plans on that. Let's see here. SirWillow, how can you do a live stream without the puppy jumping in your lap? She's napping in the chair right now. Right, Moody? What you doing, pupper? Yeah, she's out cold. So, let's see. Today was Kathy's last day. Almost rode the last train. Didn't get out of the attractions office soon enough. Freddie took over as conductor to surprise her. Well, that's kind of cool. Freddie, if you don't, Freddie does a number of things around the park, mostly custodial, but he has done a few other things, and he has definitely done trains before, so that would be fun. Let's see here. Where will I link the channels to those of us who are interested to find it? When I create it, because I haven't even created it yet, I will definitely post it. I'll post it. I'll throw it up on the live stream, so it'll be there. I will post it in the chat on YouTube, but I will also post links on Facebook to my fan page and other places. I will make sure the word gets out there so anybody who wants to watch it can. So don't worry, but it'll be a little ways around. Parker, I'm surprised Terry Sanders didn't get interviewed yet. Working on it. Terry, if you don't know, is a ridiculously busy man. As crazy busy as I am, Terry is even more so. But we have talked about it. Terry also does some YouTube stuff occasionally, and so I've actually kind of teased him that, yeah, maybe I'll just show up at this restaurant, drop in on him. I might. But yes, we have talked about trying to get together at some point. So it's there. That's one of my things. So did I ever rob trains with Kathy? At the very end, when she was learning conducting and I was getting ready to leave, I robbed her a few times as a conductor, but she and I did not actually rob together. So yes, we did work together a little bit. In fact, let me see here. So my very last day at Silver Dollar City. So this will give you an idea. Let's see here. Make sure I get you all the right thing. Okay. So my very last day, Kathy is actually in training. So Steve, who was her assistant actually later, he was the one training her on the back of the train. There's Rick. You'll hear me talk about Rick. But this was my last day. Riding the train out. So yes, I took a few pictures at the time that normally you're not allowed to. But this is us saying bye to them as they dropped us off. That's one of the engineers. This is the what they called the test ride, or the maintenance run. This is essentially your test ride. So off they go. And yeah, I was out wandering around in the woods and taking pictures of all sorts of stuff that's not there anymore, like the old wreck of 82. It was fun. Anyways. So, yeah, I did work with Kathy a couple times. So, what about the name Is Real Adventures? I'll think about that one. So I don't know what exactly I'm going to call it yet. I want to call it something catchy, but something that describes it well too. So, hey, maybe we're gonna have a contest. Let everybody submit their names. If you got a name for the future channel, send it to SirWillow at Gmail. And once I come up, I'll probably do a long-running unofficial contest. But if somebody comes up with a name that I love and I go, "Yep, that's it," I will send you something. It probably a couple SirWillow stickers. And I got a couple extra pins here, and I actually saw some D23 stuff. So you know what? Send it to me, SirWillow at Gmail. I'll send a little prize pack if somebody comes up with a great one. So there you go. But yeah, that will be fun when that happens. What exactly is the plan with the Wreck of 82? It is not there anymore. They've actually pulled it back by the Roundhouse. I don't know if they necessarily have a plan there, but I'm sure that there was talk about it. Oh, let's see. Favorites. Somebody asked for favorites. Bing. And that's very true of the train, too. I can't pick favorites. I have more fun with just about everybody out there, and it was always different. So, yeah, we had a good time. Yeah, I know. You're like, wait a minute. I know I loved everybody there. And Tom is wanting me to sing from Cats. Oh, it's tempting. It's tempting. But singing alert. You know what? I should totally get like a graphic that goes singing alert, singing alert. That would be hilarious. Oh, I'm going to have to think about that. That would really be fun to just start doing some big splashy stuff that we could throw up. Throw up. Okay, well, no, that's not what we meant. Anyways, but that's one of the big things at Silver Dollar City. Wonder if they will ever use the car that they used for the Wreck of Old 82 as a spare car. No. Nope. That car is done. It was so they used to have 2 different trains of cars, 4 cars each. They replaced all of the cars on one of the trains. That's your new cars that are on there. And then the old ones, they were just old and worn out, so they scrapped them, except for one that they threw out there in the woods and left it there, and it basically just gradually rotted. So Trevelyan knows here the car is no more. When they moved it, it was done. It was gross. So yeah, kind of like the building the Fire in the Hole used to be in. So George, did you prefer to be a conductor or one of the robbers? You know, honestly, it depended upon the day. There were days that you just wanted to rob. There were days that you wanted to conduct. Generally, robbing was more fun, but I loved conducting too. And then with the robbers, now you definitely wanted to bounce back and forth. There was not a favorite there. And so I loved what we did with traditionally you did 2 shows as Alfie, 2 shows as Ralphie, and you would just go back and forth. And that worked great. And then you'd rob one day and then you conduct the next. And yeah, again, back and forth. So that worked out really well. So the type of throw up may be a side effect for those hearing you sing. Thanks, Craig. Do you think they will ever use the old script for the train? Anything that's going to mention the wreck? Nope. That's done. Won't ever return. They pulled the wreck, so it wouldn't make any sense to have it out there. And it's Silver Dollar City is very sensitive to things that may not play well. It's why they constantly remove little stuff from the script. So there used to be a line in the show where the robbers would say that whoever the Yankee, well, you can't do Indians anymore because that one could be offensive. But then the line was what we call the hey, hey, hey. You know, Ralphie, he went sneaking up in the woods. He heard him talking. Well, what'd they say? Tell him, Ralphie. They said, whoopee, yeah, hey, hey, hey. Don't speak, Yankee. What's that mean? Means you're going to swoop down on your train. Whoopee, burn it to the rails. Yeah, and steal all the women. Well, hey, hey, hey. Well, so now the line used to be here. The conductor would say, well, what do 9 old Yankees want with a trainload of women? And the 2 robbers would look at him, step away, go, y'all got the dumb one, didn't you? That line is removed. Yeah. So there are some things like that that they have changed over the year because people are sensitive. They won't bring those back. So that was one of the reasons why I did my version of the train script, conducting script a little while ago, because I knew when that train tipped, it was like, they're going to definitely change some of those things. So, Corey, do you ever go camping? Not roughing it. I'm too old for that. I want a real bed now. Otherwise, I don't get up. I enjoy it, but really what I do, what I would not call what I would do camping. I want a trailer or a cabin, in which case, yeah, I'm just staying at a hotel in the woods. So, let's see. Got my dad to look up Silver Dollar City last night in my pursuit of becoming a travel agent. Uh, didn't look at the park. He saw dinner cruise and got totally sidetracked. So if you go to the park, you can get a discount on the dinner cruise. And there's a show, and it goes on like it's really nice. I've been on it a few different times. Showboat Branson Bell is a great ride. So, let's see here. Which is worse, being a theme park or my job as a fast food cashier? Well, working at a theme park is great. I don't know if I would want to ever be a theme park. Gosh, all that extra weight and then the people walking on me, and we won't talk about some other stuff. Definitely worse to be a theme park. And Parker's got to be going, not what I meant. Do the robbers still do the back up the train? Some of them do. That's one of those options that you could do if you wanted to, but it really depended upon the robbers and if the conductor knew what he was doing. We threw it sometimes at a new conductor just to see what they would do. That was always fun. By the way, if you need train stats, Traveler knows it. How many miles is the train? 1.6. How many times does it go around? Just once. How many loops are on the train? One. Goes this way. How long is the train? 1 engine and 4 cars. Okay, I could go on. Yes, we really answered those questions that way. I don't know if they do so much anymore, but we were not just allowed, we were encouraged. So, but I was talking about possibly going out Thursday. So let me give y'all a little bit of a real life update, if that is okay. You may have noticed in the past that I had talked about some of the struggles that we've had with money and other stuff and vehicles. So we have something like that. 3 cars. We got a 2006 minivan, a 2006 Ford Focus, and then a 2010 van. Yeah, old cars. And trying to keep them running and everything else has been a challenge. We've had people go, why don't you just get a new car? Well, you got to have money to be able to put down to get a new car. Our cars are old enough that they're not worth anything. Literally, I tried to sell the one van a little bit ago, and the best offer I got was $200. So we've been putting in hundreds. Actually, we've been averaging around $1,000 a month for the last 5 to 6 months, trying to keep these cars running, which is all money that you want to use to get another car, and you can't do it because you can't go without the car. So it has just been ongoing. And every time we're like, okay, we finally got it, we're going to be good, something else breaks. So this is kind of where we have been. We've got the Ford is done. It's not going to pass safety inspection, sitting in the driveway. I'm selling it Wednesday to a junker. I don't care. Registration is expired on it, and it would cost way too much. I'm not pouring more money into this. So then Wednesday, we get back from all these meetings. My wife goes to roll up the window on the good van, the newer one, and the window goes down and doesn't come up. So here we go again. Take the van up to the shop Thursday morning to get fixed. I'm home. I'm working on my video, and my daughter's gone up out of town to go to a doctor's appointment. And on the way back, she calls me. Dad, I just spun the van. She actually spun the van off one of our local roads, went across, managed to catch the spin a little bit, came back, didn't hit the oncoming car, which continued on past her, and spun it into the ditch. Car's done. She is fine. She is perfectly okay. But she's out in the middle of nowhere. The mayor of my town happened to drive by, saw her sitting there right after the accident, picked her up, brought her home. She's off this farm road. There's nobody and nothing there. So she just came home. Well, okay, so everybody, here's the deal. If you have an accident, even whatever, and you leave the car, call the police. We were more worried about her safety. I couldn't get to her because I had no other vehicle, so I couldn't go check on her. About an hour and a half afterwards, Apparently, the owner of this land didn't like this van sitting there and couldn't wait. Called the police, had them tow it, and I've got the police at my front door asking me what happened. Uh, I wasn't driving, my daughter was. So there's an old barbed wire fence that's falling apart. She barely nicked one of the poles, and so we got to fix the pole. But they were telling her that if she caused any more damage, they could have filed a felony against her. So van's damaged, not going to run. It's impounded, so I got to go up tomorrow, and I'm basically trading them the pink slip to release the impound charges and get my stuff back. We are now down to one vehicle. But the good news is, two of the things that we've been pouring money in, we're done with. The bad news is we got one vehicle with 3 people working. So we're going to be doing some juggling here and hopefully figure out something else. But long story short, we've spent way too much money trying to keep cars running that aren't going to keep running, and that's prevented us from actually getting reliable transportation. So the hope Thursday is that everybody who needs a ride can get a ride, so that way I can actually get out to Silver Dollar City, because I haven't really been there this year outside of opening day, and go out and actually film. There's actually one of my patrons is going to be out there, so I'm hoping to meet them. And yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. People are like, well, why is your money always tight? Well, there's one of the big reasons. I won't go into all my deal, but let's just say between the vehicles and between a couple other things, we figured out that since August of last year, we are around $16,000 that we have spent on various car repairs, various other expenditures that we can't get reimbursed. And it's just money that's like, yeah, now I know why our finances are bad. But yes, we've talked to a few people, and Julia sums up, yeah, too bad more people were concerned about fencing. Yep, but we're happy she's okay, and we will get stuff figured out and transportation working, and we're, at the very least, the money pit part is done, and hopefully we can, fairly soon come up with another option for at least one more set of wheels that'll be reliable. Okay. But that's part of the reason I have not been out traveling to parks and doing stuff. We've just been super busy as well. And then when I'm home, it's, oh, look, I'm not going anywhere because we don't have any way to get me there. That will be changing eventually. But I did want to update y'all because I know some people, I've had people send me notes. What is it with you and your cars and your money? Why? Well, there you go. So I don't know about you. I don't know too many people that can afford that kind of money and stuff. I can't. So, but we're good. She's safe. And we're optimistic about the future. So SirWillow and a Tesla. Yeah, those are even more expensive. All right, so that is kind of what is going on there. And then we can move on to happier stuff. So there's your real life, oh my gosh, moment. Yeah, it was funny because I was at all these meetings with all these friends, and they're all asking me, so how's your car situation this last weekend? I'm going, I think we're finally got everything resolved. We're finally good. And then bam, bam. Let's see here. My dad was rear-ended by a drunk driver behind a school bus at a railroad crossing. That sounds like a bad joke. Fine, the car was totaled, had to buy a new version. Yeah. And Julie, I understand my car is a 2006 Toyota Corolla. Yep, those 18, 19-year-old cars, they just ain't what they used to be. But so Thursday, the plan is to go to Silver Dollar City. I plan to get some footage around the park. There are a couple things I don't have footage of all things. And check out the saloon show. I basically want to walk around the park and try to catch video footage of what's new, what's changed, what will be changing. So go take some pictures of the old Fire in the Hole site and some other stuff like that. Also throw out some ideas of possibilities. I do know that there are a couple things that they will be working on. So I want to get some good shots of those. And then I'm trying to remember here. This is how much I have been busy. I haven't even had a chance to look. I'm trying to remember if Street Fest is still going. What have we got going on? Nope, it'll be Bluegrass and Barbecue when I'm there. So I just missed Street Fest. Yeah, because there's no way I can get out there tomorrow, which is the last day. This is the last year for Street Fest. I have no idea what they're going to be bringing in with it. So I missed it this year. That's a bummer because I like Street Fest. Neat deal. They got the Living Fountain, Street Circus, and then a couple other things. So, oh, I know what else I was going to tell you all about. Disney is actually opening up a brand new thing here in Branson that I need to get out to. It opens up in 17 days. It's called the, make sure I get the right name here, Disney Immersive. And it's a whole new animation thing, and I can't wait to get out there. I would have bought my tickets already if I had to add all this other stuff. So I'm hoping Friday's payday, hoping to be able to buy tickets for all of us to get out there. Megan has talked about joining us for it, so hopefully we can get a little group together and go check this out. So I'm working on that. I've actually sent them contact emails kind of going, hey, we want to come film. And I have not heard back. Disney likes bigger groups than me, so we shall see. But it would be really cool if we can actually make this work. So let me see if I can show you the website, though, and let you because I know a lot of people are like, Disney Immersive, what is that? Okay. So here is the website for it. And it's actually getting you immersed and involved in the actual animation. So it looks really cool. They do have a few others around, but it's one of those things that you're looking at the website and you're going, well, what all is this? So I really hope that I can get out there and go check it out and share it with you. I think that would be a lot of fun. So, but that kind of gives you a little bit of an idea. So let's see here. Turn my sound down. I'm blasting myself here. Yep, so there you go. Yeah, you're surrounded by these screens, and so you really do get totally immersed in it. So there you go. That is what is coming to Branson, and it looks really, really cool. So hopeful, optimistic that we'll be able to go check it out here pretty soon. And like I said, definitely want to be able to do a video review of it. Andrea, went to this in Vegas. Yes, so they do have a few. Vegas is one, and yeah, would love to go. So let me see here. Let me kind of scroll back a little bit. Are there any plans for the Sunday Night Live Bible studies to return? I would like to. What's happening is we're traveling a lot. So last Sunday, for example, we were at Cape Girardeau, which is a 4.5-hour drive from where we are. Next weekend, we are at a place that's a 2.5-hour drive. So when you figure in that morning service and then lunch and then getting home, we're coming home wiped out. So it's kind of hard to be able to do it regular when sometimes we're not here and other times we're just getting home. It's just like, oh, I got to go to work tomorrow. So that's kind of why they haven't been happening. I did actually post a video up to Burning Bush today, so you can check that out. I would love to be able to do it more regular. That was the initial plan. And as we have gotten more involved with the support raising and traveling and preaching, it's really sucked the time up for us. So would you like to see out of a potential Silver Dollar City resort theme or otherwise. It'll be an 1880s theme. They are definitely going to build a resort, although they have not announced it yet. The one at Dollywood was so successful that there's no way they're not going to do it. So I have not heard any official plans. I haven't heard any official word, but I don't think anybody in their right mind doubts that they're going to have a resort and a big expansion for it. So give it time. But no, they'll definitely theme it in a way that will tie into the park. Absolutely. So let's see here. Try to see what else we got. The one in Cleveland, the Disney Immersive was cool. Just wish they would have had immersive experience themed merchandise instead of generic Disney. Oh, that's kind of sad. They don't have anything unique for that. But no, it'll be fun. So we'll get up there. I really haven't seen any videos online of it. So I'm wondering if it's because they're running into copyrights or what. So Aaron, thank you for getting me through training and work. I'm happy to help. Yes. Hey, if I can keep you all entertained and happy, that's a good thing. So let's see. How has the weather been up there? Wet. Very, very wet. We have had a string of strong storms. Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. It rained so much and so hard. My wife's room, they joked, started becoming a rainforest because she had 6 buckets. They dumped 4 full buckets of water out of my wife's classroom. It was raining so hard when I was working that you could not see across the parking lot. Just huge amounts of rain. And we've actually, I've got, I want to say 30 minutes or so, and we're supposed to get more rain coming in, more heavy rain and strong weather. So and it's going to be off and on for the next few days. So wet, very, very wet. So be at Walt Disney World September 3rd to the 12th. So here's something. You mentioned the NASA rockets. It was so cool when you worked at Walt Disney World to be able to see the rockets. And I could tell you, so if you were standing at the Castle Hub, you would look down through Tomorrowland and you could see them go off. How appropriate. Rocket launches out Tomorrowland. At Epcot, if you were at the front entrance, looking towards Spaceship Earth, you turn left. Get myself... but you could watch the launches from there. It was really neat to be able to do it. So, did you know that Figment's a playable character in a Disney racing game? Yes. Yep. They've got him in a few different things now because he's so popular. 19 days out from your first ever cruise. Oh, I'm jealous. I have not been on a cruise yet. Working on your fear of flying. So flying for me is not, I love flying. If you have an issue with flying, I would encourage you sit towards the aisle so that way you don't see the windows. And just, it's like accelerating fast in a car at the beginning. And then you're fine. It's a little loud. If you sit up closer to the front, it's not as loud from the engines. Bring a good book or a computer game or something that will distract you. And you'll be fine. So most people, I don't know how much you've flown before, but most people, once they've done it once or twice, it's not a big deal. You're safer in the plane than you are in the car all the way to the plane. And I know that's a mental thing, and some people just struggle with it, but it's good. I love flying. So, Tweetsy thinks the Dollywood Resort looks like Grand Floridian. I've heard that. Yep. Let's see here. Oh, this I have not heard. Tree fell across the tracks of Thunderation on Thursday due to the storm. Ooh. Last I heard, it will reopen next week after some extensive tree trimming. That's very interesting. I had not heard about that. I'll have to do some checking on it. So, yeah, that's definitely interesting. Let's see here. Pixar Fest in my plans. I'm kind of looking here. So Pixar Fest is at Disneyland. I have no plans on going to Disneyland at this point. In fact, I should let you know, I know I'll have some people asking, so where are you going to be? Where are you traveling to this summer? We have actually, partially because of money, partially just because of how busy we are. We're basically looking at this summer and we're going, you know what? We have been traveling everywhere for everything all the time. Let's take a summer off and just stay home and rest a little bit. So this summer right now, we don't have any travel plans. We do have some churches that we're trying to book and some things like that. So if we have a church that wants us to come speak, we'll travel for that. But otherwise, we're not doing a big trip this year. And we're kind of excited about that. I am trying to work on one of the things I used to do was I used to take 1 or 2 weeks a year when I was pastoring, and I had a couple places I would go and I would just stay someplace for a week and do nothing, turn the phone off, and just rest and not work at all. And I haven't done that since we moved, so I am trying to figure out a way to do that, possibly at the end of May. I got to figure out a place to stay that will let me do it cheap or free, and some stuff like that. So, but I am hoping to be able to do that. If I do get an opportunity, well, we'll figure something out. But one of the things that I can do on a trip like that I've always done is I've always filmed several videos. It's a great opportunity for me to just sit, unwind, brainstorm, and get creative again, and record several things and come back with several videos ready to edit, maybe even partially edited. So I am hoping to do that. I have no idea of dates or where or anything like that. I generally don't socialize very much on them. I had one opportunity a few years ago where somebody donated timeshare to me down in Florida. And so I did take one day and go to Universal, but otherwise I generally don't theme park. I just don't do much anything. So I hope to be able to do that soon, and we will see how that works out. But otherwise, no travel plans at this point. How are you coming along with your dream to visit Tokyo? Won't happen at this point. It was a one-time possible opportunity because my daughter was in Japan working, and I had an opportunity where I could fly standby for nothing, and COVID killed it. They were not allowing anybody in on a tourist visa, so that kind of ruined it. I don't have that opportunity to fly. My daughter's here now, so I don't know when or even if Disney Tokyo will ever happen. I wish. Brock, do I have a schedule of where and when you are preaching on the weekends? I keep one. I don't generally post it. Let me see here. There are reasons I don't post it, but I can tell you a little bit about where I am coming up. We will be on Cinco de Mayo. We'll be in Appleton City, Missouri, little dinky town. Let's see. Mother's Day, we will be in Seymour, not speaking, but visiting. I'm just trying to see. Let's see. I have Wednesday, June 12th in Belton. I've got a couple here that just because of what we're doing, I can't share. And then we're working on filling in. We haven't really booked anything past June because we were hoping to be gone. So now we're working on booking and stuff. I may start posting some of them up on my Facebook page, but generally there are some other concerns. And because of various things, people we know, even if I'm speaking, oftentimes we don't live stream it because I want to be able to share details, and I can't do that if there's a stream going on. So, I hope that makes sense. Let's see. Nice to see Wreck-It Ralph is going to get some love in the parks with a retheme. Overdue, absolutely. What do I think about audio animatronics for Tiana's? They will have some. They'll have some really cool ones. They'll have some old ones recycled, but they will definitely have some. We will wait and see. I you got to be sitting there going, this guy sometimes is a real jerk. There's things that I can't, that I don't know. So, how's the Israel trip going? Check earlier in the stream, Goofy. because I gave a really nice, long, detailed update on that. Be near the beginning of the stream. So once we're done, you have to go back because I don't want to repeat it all. I spent like 10 minutes talking about it. But I am going to get some updates emailed out here pretty soon. Craig is going to Disney. What a shock. To see Pixar Fest and the reopening of Fantasmic. Can't wait for Disneyland to get Fantasmic open again. Well overdue. Abby, have I seen Bad Batch? I have not seen the most recent season, but we have watched the previous two. Love the show. Great show. Really is. Absolutely love it. Have I gone or any interest in whitewater rafting? I went years ago. I'm not in. So with my heart, I have this weird restriction. Adrenaline is good. Stress is bad. Physical stress is really bad. So what's going on is the muscle in the middle of my heart's enlarged. And if I am doing something stressful, it makes the heart work really, really hard. And it can actually cause the valve on my heart to close and not reopen. And that means I would go. So whitewater rafting, yes, it would have the adrenaline, which is a good beating of the heart. But because you're having to paddle and work, that could be a potential issue. It's why I am limited. I am officially under doctor's orders. I'm not allowed to shovel snow, for example. So I'd love to go. I have been whitewater rafting in the past, but that's one of those things that it's like probably better not. So, Craig, beware the Revenge of the Fifth, and so this is where I got to figure out how far I can get away at this church. I don't know how nerds they are, how much of a nerd group they are, but I'm definitely like, okay, it's Cinco de Mayo and Revenge of the Fifth, and I got all sorts of stupid jokes for them. We will see. Bad Batch season 3 is awesome. That's what I keep hearing. We generally at dinner when we eat together, we'll put on a show and watch. So we watched the most recent Doctor Who's. We just finished Picard on Paramount. So finished all 3 seasons of Picard. Bad Batch is kind of the next in line that we'll be doing. So it's there. Heard the prices for Tokyo Disneyland tickets are fairly cheap compared to other parks. Yes, it is cheaper, especially if you're going to be there for a few days. But as you say, getting there, on the other hand, plane tickets, the hotels, you got to be careful which hotel, because not every hotel is like we think of as hotels, because Japan is different. Yeah, that's why I was hoping that one time it would have worked out. Australia was also kind of in the plans, and that also didn't work. So Mark, date for Israel. So our current plan, we have delayed a little bit. We're hoping to finish support raising end of October and actually leave end of December, if everything else comes out and we get the money. That's kind of where we're at. So, all right. I don't want to clog up too much with Israel, because people are like, I thought you were talking about Disney, and there's no Disney in Israel. It's surprising, though, how popular it is. There is a Disney store in Israel, believe it or not. There really is. So we will still have stuff. And again, this channel is not going to be about Israel. This channel will always be about Disney and Silver Dollar City and theme parks, even if I'm doing it from Israel itself. So don't worry. We will have a different one. I'm trying to think what else there was. And I don't remember what else there was. Just like I said, think about us with the car stuff. I got to go take care of that tomorrow. But yeah. And hi, Jack. How are you doing? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I expected a little more, a good question to stump me. Jack's good at asking me stumpers. So, so you'll still be there if you come in September. Yes, I will still be here. Still be in this area. What do I think about Efteling? I love to go. Oh, I would love to go. So much history there. But so need to find a way to make the Japan and Australia trips happen. This is the one problem is I would absolutely love to go to Japan and Australia, but if we go to Israel for 2 years, because of what we're doing, I can't just pop off and disappear for a long period of time. Um, I am going to be restricted on how much free time I will have to go travel, and as well as money. I won't have extra money. So the only way Japan or Australia would really happen is if somehow it popped up this summer, if we could tie it into speaking engagements, and if I didn't have to pay for it, and we got it. There's just a whole lot of things that would have to happen. And uh, honestly, I don't see it until after Israel, if it does. I desperately would love to go, but I've got other things that have to come first. So, yeah. So, interesting piece of news: Efteling in the Netherlands is converting their steam locomotives to battery power. I have heard that. That will be really cool. Efteling, too. The other reason I want to get there is the Netherlands. My family roots on my grandmother's side are all from there, so which would really be cool. Would I consider modern mega cruise ships floating amusement parks? In a lot of ways, yes. These new cruise ships they've got, and I have never been on a cruise one of these years, but you go in and they're giant shopping malls and entertainment districts. They've got roller coasters on them now and water slides, and it's crazy what some of the stuff they have on them. Goodness, I'm just imagining the kind of video I could put together if we ever had an opportunity. Love to be able to do stuff like that. They're amazing. Yeah, it's just fantastic stuff on them. So yes, I do watch the Travel Channel specials, and I do look at the stuff on the cruise boats, and like, how cool is that? Yeah, they're definitely floating amusement parks and stuff with them. That's probably the best description I've heard. It's a floating resort and amusement park. Yeah, absolutely. Cool stuff on them. Absolutely cool stuff. Hopefully the talked about trips to Europe can still be fit in. So if I'm in Israel, like I said, there's not going to be time for me to travel. There's not going to be budget because I will be there for 2 years to work, to study, and it's going to be pretty regimented. It would have to be after Israel. As much as I would love, because I'm working with another organization and we have the language school will be doing and a number of other things, it's not going to be something where I can just take off and go, hey, let's go from Israel over to Germany. I just won't have that option and opportunity while I'm doing it. So it's like starting in a new job when you're on probation and you get no paid vacation for a while. Yeah, so it's going to be kind of like that. So Disney had planned for a theme park on boat, and then they converted that over to the Wish and the Magic and all the other stuff. That's kind of, they've taken some of those ideas and brought them onto the boats. So let's see. Do you know what's happening with the Mine restaurant? So the Mine is a restaurant at Silver Dollar City. It's on Buffet Row, as we call it, up at the entrance. It is still there. It's still functional. In fact, many times if you go in to eat at the Mill, which is the one right next door, they may actually use the Mine for overflow seating. During the busy parts of the year, so times during the summer, Moonlight Madness, when they know they're going to have big crowds, they will open the Mine up as a separate restaurant and have all of those open. So they use it for busy days, but if it's not going to be a super busy day, it's not cost effective to open it. So it is used, it does get opened, just not all the time. It's essentially a busy day overflow restaurant that they'll use. So that's why you don't see it, but it does still open up. Let's see here. People in the rail fanning community have been going crazy over the conversion to electric. So the one thing I can say, anytime you have a very excited, rabid fan base about something, it's really interesting how they react to certain things. It's true of roller coasters. It's true of Star Wars and Star Trek, that whenever somebody makes a change, people are like, oh, how dare you? Goodness, you want to get people upset? Get roller coaster people talking about whether Superman the Escape at Magic Mountain is a roller coaster or not. and you'll get some rabid responses. How dare you count it? What do you mean you don't count it? And it's going to be the same kind of thing with any fan base. Same thing with trains. Understand why you want to keep steam locomotives as steam because of the historical aspects and everything. But I also understand with the park. So, has a fur character ever accidentally stepped on your foot? Oh, yeah. All the time. You get used. It's like anybody else stepping on your foot. Your feet are going to get stepped on as a photographer at least once a day. At least once a day. So, pray SirWillow safe and nothing happens in Israel. So here's what a lot of people don't realize is that Israel's safer than the U.S. Even with what's going on now, it's confined to a couple areas. You don't go down by Gaza. You don't go up to the north border when, Hezbollah is being crazy. Most of Israel's safe. We walked around downtown Jerusalem at 10:30 at night because the guy with us forgot where he parked. And we're walking around, and my wife and I are going, and he looks at us literally. He goes, "What's wrong?" It's 10:30 at night. Isn't this dangerous? Why? What would happen? The whole concept of getting mugged at night was completely foreign to him. Made no sense. It doesn't happen. I'm like, it happens so often in the States, we don't even put it in the news. Here in the States, we tend to hear about every little incident that happens, and it gets blown up and made bigger. But we have them so often here that nobody cares anymore. So Israel, you play it smart. When tensions are high, you don't go up on the Temple Mount. You don't, do certain things that would get people mad at you. But that's true anywhere. But they don't want to hurt tourists either, because tourists are money. Everybody agrees on that. So it's just being smart, just like you do at home. There's certain things you don't do. You just watch what you do. So a good thing about steam trains, Disney burns oil instead of coal. A lot of times they'll say oil. It's diesel engine, diesel fuel. A lot of times they call it oil, but it's diesel. So, and this is a very good point. The people who know how to work on steam locomotives are getting smaller in number, and yeah, you've got to keep in mind that people do look like, or they have to make sure they can run cost effectively as well. So, Ryan Idiot, electric fired steam locos like in Swiss, there's options, but you got what you have. It's going to be cheaper to convert what they have than to buy another engine and get it working. So, yeah, it's something that it's that, and people are becoming very much more conscious about energy usage for various things. So that's what they focus on. Let's see, Mark. After Silver Dollar City, what are the closest parks to you? To me, it is Worlds of Fun up in Kansas City, Six Flags St. Louis, and then it's a little further to Frontier City, but Six Flags St. Louis and Worlds of Fun are both about the same distance, opposite directions. And I was at Worlds of Fun. I have not been able to get to Six Flags St. Louis for 2 years now. I have a pass. I can get in free. I get free food. I just can't seem to get there. I've had 4 times where I've been in St. Louis for various things, and what I was in every single time ran over time and took up the time I was going to go to Six Flags. Time to go home. So, oh well. Something tells me SirWillow doesn't want to end up like a certain troublemaking streamer. I know of a couple of those. No, I have no reason to get the parks upset at me. Not because I'm not honest, but there are certain people that they do things that they shouldn't, and they stir up trouble just for the sake of stirring up trouble. Why? So, no, I don't have any reason to get the park upset at me just for the sake of doing it or doing things I shouldn't. In fact, that drives me nuts when I see that. But no, if there's something the park does I don't like, I'll say it. So, Mark, Magic Springs is 5 hours away. Yeah, I have not been to Magic Springs yet, so I always forget about them. But yeah, that's the closest park. That's about where I am. So it would be nice to get back to a couple of those parks this summer. And again, part of that will be if I can book a speaking engagement nearby. Okay, I'm in the backyard. Now I'll go. So that is kind of the hope, is that I will get to Six Flags St. Louis at least once, maybe more. We'll see. We'll see how it all works out. So, let's see. We're getting a good debate here about steam and oil and fun stuff. Y'all are starting to go way beyond what I know about trains. So that's why I'm just kind of letting it go in the chat and just nodding along. Like, yeah, okay, I know what we did at Silver Dollar City, but I'm not a deep rail fan. Not that I don't love trains and stuff. I'm just saying that when it comes to actually digging into the knowledge of all that, I don't have it. So I'm just letting y'all go. It's kind of fun. So, but yeah, so that's kind of where we're at this point, is planning on hopefully going to Israel end of the year, planning on not really traveling this summer for once, just to kind of get rested up, hoping to get a week vacation somewhere to just, I'm middle of nowhere, seriously, just to tune out and turn off and refresh for a little while, and hopefully get that all done. How far is it between Six Flags St. Louis, Silver Dollar City, and Worlds of Fun? It is about 4 hours between all three of them. So 4 hours from Worlds of Fun to Silver Dollar City, 4 hours from Silver Dollar City to Six Flags, 4 hours from Six Flags to Worlds of Fun. It's almost equidistant triangle. So, and I am old enough now that if I'm going to do it, I don't do the 4 hours, go and come back the same day. I need a hotel. I want my sleep. I'm too old. Some people drink from the fountains at Disney. Yes. Okay. I'm not going to actually publish something that encourages people to do something that's stupid and gross and get sick. Yeah. They need to run the old Six Flags commercials again. I agree. I have my Mr. Six stuff there. We will see what happens with the merger. And I'll close with this. The merger is coming up on final approval here in about 2 months. And then they get to start making some changes, and we will see what changes they make. We won't see much this year, but expect to see some big changes with the upcoming Cedar Point by Six Flags Park, I think is what they're going to do, or something like that. It's coming. It's going to be Six Flags Cedar Fair, and hopefully they will take the best of both, and bring it all together. And yeah, I'd love to see the Mr. Six come back. So excited about that, about the whole changes. I think it's going to be good overall. They're keeping the people they need to keep, and the ones that they need to deal with are kind of getting shuffled off to the corner. So I've been very pleased with what I've seen there. I think it's going to be a good thing for the parks and the guests as a whole. So we will close with that. Again, if you want to know more about the other stuff, don't hesitate. Go back. We've had some long talks at the beginning and halfway through, so we'll leave it there. Thank you guys so much. Thank you again, Jack, for your sponsorship. I appreciate that, and your support, everybody. Don't hesitate to send ideas. If you got ideas for the new name for the channel, send it to SirWillow at Gmail. We will do some sort of prize package for it, which would be something I would put together. It's kind of a spontaneous idea, but I will definitely do something to reward somebody who comes up with that name. If you've got other ideas, I'd love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for joining me. It has been fun. I love all these new, let's see, Six Fair Cedar Flags. Yes, it'll be fun. But, Andrew reminds me, open mail. Thank you. I almost forgot. It's sitting right here. I got this package from Canada. That would be terrible. Thank you, Angie. So, is it from you? That's why. She's like, open my package. Sorry. Thank you. Okay. So I extended a little bit. And now my dog has come running up. It's like, what you got? There's no dog food in here for you, pooper. Sorry. Okay. Let's see. Open the envelope first. So we will set that aside. This is from Ontario. This is a heavy envelope. Okay, you're really going places. Yeah, I can't believe I almost forgot. Thank you. Oh, this is neat. Okay. Dear Sir Willow, I hope this letter and package finds you and yours happy and healthy. Enclosed are a few postcards from our little corner of the world. Upper Canada Village is the big draw, bringing in people from all over the world. So I'll hold that up there for you. After I watched your video and not being able to travel as much to the parks, thought you might appreciate seeing some of our local sites. Absolutely. Thus, I got to work on this little guy. I know he is one of your favorite characters to work with. My sister-in-law absolutely adores him too. She and my brother are getting married in May, and I know she watches your videos too. She will recognize him the moment she sees him. Keep him away from markers, though. Okay. Thank you for the many hours of entertainment and information. Angela blah. Can't talk. Blah, blah, blah. Harriman. P.S. Terry and Sherry will be celebrating their wedding on May 11th. Tell them congratulations, or if they're watching, congratulations. Okay, I'm laughing. The old man nearly forgot an important task. I don't know what you're talking about, but there's several postcards here. So let me show these to you. Sunset. One of these days, see, I actually have family roots up in Ontario. So it would be fun to get up there one of these times. That's another one of those trips that's just like, so much I want to do. But, okay. So now, let's get this. And yes, I have told stories about him. My son is going to be jealous. I can tell you that. This is so cute, though. How about that? Doesn't that look awesome? So he's going to go up there with my Stitch, or my Figment. This is my Stitch. That is so cool. Thank you so much, Angel. That is fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yes, the postcards and stuff. Thank you for reminding me and not letting me forget. So I appreciate it. So Angie's like, thanks. No, thank you very much. I'm happy you reminded me, and I saw it before I signed off. But so cool. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for making this so much fun. I hope you had a lot of fun with it. I appreciate it. And yeah, if you want to send mail, I don't think the address is actually in the description. I got to put the address in. But mail, P.O. Box 1720 in Forsyth, Forsyth, Missouri 65653. And I'd love to send it SirWillow, care of George Bernash. But you put SirWillow and the P.O. box on there, and they'll get it to me. And I'll add the address in the description too. Thank you guys so much. I'm so blessed. Appreciate it. Hope you all have a wonderful night. And yeah, I can see lightning starting to flash, so it's a good time to sign out anyways. Have a good night. Thanks so much for joining me. It's been fun. God bless everybody.